Father McNeil a curveball here.
Well, that I suffer in silence. In any event, now the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is the place. It's one church that has the site of Calvary and the site of the empty tomb in the same building, because they weren't very far from each other. Now, if you go to a Holy Land, to an Israel tour from Protestants, they will not take you to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, or probably not anyhow. They will take you to the Garden Tomb, which is another place that they says could be the place where Jesus was buried, but in fact he wasn't. When the Christians became a little more populous, the Roman authorities wanted to get rid of this whole thing. So one of the things that they did actually helped preserve the sites, because they built a tomb, or rather a temple to Zeus over the site of the Holy Sepulchre, the empty tomb, and they built another temple over the site of Calvary. And during the time of the Crusaders, or the 4th century, they built the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and basically those two places are right in the same building. So you could walk from, for instance, like I would say, as I recall, it's not much farther than from here to the doors to go from Calvary to the tomb, and because it's really not very far away. The Garden Tomb is way outside of where it shows here. But in any event, it's on the side of a hill. And the thing is, they excavated all around it. All they left was the hill that the tomb was built in, cut everything else out, and put over that what they call the edicule. And I'm going to show you some pictures of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. This, one of the things you see here, see that? That's what they call the immovable ladder. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre is owned by Catholics, Greek Orthodox, Ethiopian Coptic Orthodox, and Armenians, I believe. And the thing is, they used to have fights all the time, and so basically the administration of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre has to be shared. And many years ago, probably in the 1900s, they discovered this ladder. Nobody knows who put the ladder there. And nobody wants to remove it because they're afraid that if they remove it, they say, well, you've changed something, and therefore you can't do this, and we're going to then change things in here. And that's not the way things ought to be, but that's the way things are. Now, right here, this is that is where Calvary is. You come up from the inside, and then to the top there, and that's where the Calvary is. And this is the edicule. This has been refurbished with some amazing cooperation between the four. They managed to completely redo the edicule. And they put was scaffolding around it and so forth to shore it up and so forth. And pardon? Oh, that's a different one. That's the edicule again. And basically, when you go in there, there's a small room, and then when you go through that small room, then you can go into the actual tomb itself. And when I was there with Father Dave Halaiko and Father Dave Silva, the three of us were inside the tomb to celebrate Mass on an altar that folded down from the wall right over the spot where Jesus had been laid. That was really neat. This is Calvary, and underneath the altar there, you can reach down and actually touch the stone where the cross had been. Kind of a neat thing. I'm not sure that's one of the various some of the mosaics and so forth. And I can't remember what that is. It's been a while since I've been there. But anyhow, now we're going to go someplace else here. Okay, yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, come on here. Oh, come on. Can monastery. Oh, there we go. Now we're going to D.C. Oops, what happened? Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's what I want. There we go. I'm getting dizzy. Now, this is an amazing place. If you can't get to the Holy Land, one of your next best things would be go to the Franciscan monastery. That is the headquarters in the United States of the Franciscan Commissariat of the Holy Land. The Franciscans were given control of the various shrines and so forth in the Holy Land by the church so that they would be able to control and provide for them. And the Good Friday collection basically goes largely to the Franciscans to do that. They maintain some of the shrines and also provide social services to people, particularly to Christians in the Holy Land. Because again, the Christians have a hard time in the Holy Land because they're not Jews and they're not Muslims, and so they kind of get squished from both sides. Now, let's see here. Let's see. How do I get street view?
Back out just a little bit with the mouse. And then that little guy in the lower right-hand corner is a little man. Get him and drop him where you want to be.
Okay.
Yeah, drop him on one of those blue lines. Boom. There you go. Okay, and then you can use the cursor.
Yeah.
If you want to rotate. Yeah. There you go. You want to go to the right? You want to go to the right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, hold on. Let me take it. There you go. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, that's it. This is from the street. And many of you I know have been to D.C., and I imagine many of you have been to the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception, and which is a beautiful, beautiful place. But this is not very far from it, and a lot of people don't know about it. You can walk from the shrine to the Franciscan monastery in about maybe 45 minutes to an hour. It's downhill partly, but it's uphill going back. So that's the part of the problem. But so this is the gate, and I don't know what it looks like they're showing up things, okay. Let's see here. And that's the church. Let's get back to the.
There's white, just 3,900.
Okay.
Just to the, there you go. It takes you back there.
Okay, there we go. Now, how do we get out of 3D?
Over here. Yeah, click that. Oh, that puts you in 3D.
Okay, all right, that's good. That's okay. Now, the church here is built to suggest the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And when you go inside the church, they have a full-size replica of the empty tomb, which is really neat. And over here to the left is a replica of the Portiuncula. The Portiuncula is the church that Francis built when he heard it's a church of San Damiano, where Francis heard the Lord say, "Build up my church." And this is it, the Portiuncula. And again, this is done by the Franciscans. Now, you'll also notice around here there is a cloister, and in that cloister is the rosary. Only 15 decades, but that's the way, because I've been there a long time. And at each of the places where the mystery is, there is a mosaic of the mystery, and then on the walls there is the Our Father in porcelain plaques in various different languages, and then the Hail Mary in many, many different languages. So you can go in and see that. They have all sorts of things, like they got Armenian, they got Irish, they got Ugaritic, and all sorts of things like that. Let's see here. Also, they have a Lourdes grotto, which is nice, and a little garden here. And it's a very nice place that it's kind of out of the way, in the sense that you can go in there and it's like you're not in the middle of a city anymore. Really neat place. Now, let's see here. I'm going to go back to some of the pictures of the inside here. Let's see. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Zoom out. Oh, there we go. Whoops. There we go. Okay. All right. And this is the inside of the church. The nice baldacchino over the main altar. And this is the entrance to the Portiuncula. This is the tomb is right here. And so you can walk in that, and basically it's a full-size replica of the empty tomb. And it's the outside of the place again. And they have up above on these kind of porches sort of things, they have several altars there and some really neat mosaics. But you can also, when you go there, if you take a tour, and this is a nice of the and this is a painting and sculpture combined, and this is Longinus holding the sponge up to Jesus to drink. And of course, you'll notice that one of the things that you see in a lot of let's see, I didn't want to do that. Back up. Okay. One of the things that you'll very often see is that you'll see that the thieves were tied to the cross and just Jesus was nailed to the cross. That's very unlikely, because again, for the Jews, or rather for the Romans, these were just three criminals that had to be executed. So they wouldn't have done it very different from Jesus and the other two. So basically, they probably all would have been nailed. And if you go there at the tour, one of the side altars, this is Jesus being before his scourging. And like I say, I don't know how to get into the pictures full size. This is the cloister again. And you'll see that on the wall there, that's where they have the Hail Marys and the Our Fathers. And, somebody's standing in front of the edicule. Okay. Way to Guadalupe. Not a lot of neat things there. But also, if you go on the tour, they take you downstairs. And downstairs, they have a full-size replica of the grotto of the Annunciation from Nazareth. And then they have catacombs. They're just reproductions of catacombs. And then from the catacombs, you can go also to the full-size replica of the grotto of the Nativity. And basically full-size, again, exactly what you would see if you went to Bethlehem in the Holy Land. And I think that's it. That's it. Okay, now let's see here. I'm going to go up to the National Shrine here. There we go. Like I say, it's not very far. And okay, let's see here. This is the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception. And of course, Mary is the patroness of the United States under the title of the Immaculate Conception, and which is really, really a neat thing. And this, if you haven't been here to the shrine, it is an amazing place. And what I'm going to show you now isn't Google Earth, but it's going to be something from the desktop here. I put this together some years ago. Mary of all nations. This is some of the pictures that I took from the shrine. It's a PDF, it's a PowerPoint program. And so now I still want to get this, to put music to this, but I haven't got around to doing that. I only made this a few years back. And of course, we got Yes here again, just like my book. And they have altars with Mary from all different nations and so forth. It really is an amazing place, and you can spend hours there. And Mary, Mother of Mankind, and they have also, and the thing is, it's a building that will never be finished. One of the things they did about maybe not even that long ago, they finished the inside of the dome, which is the Dome of the Holy Trinity. And it is an amazing mosaic of the Trinity, and just amazing thing to see. And if you are, no matter what ethnic persuasion you are, you can find something there. Like Our Lady of Good Health from India, which we don't tend to think about. But there is an apparition of Mary there in the 16th century. Of course, Lady of Guadalupe, beautiful mosaic, 1531. I was off by 13 years when I said earlier. Jehovah, whoops, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I got to re-edit that a bit to, yeah. And about the Black Madonna and so forth. And that's the big place that St. John Paul used to love in a particular way. They called it the White Mountain, I think, where the shrine is of Jehovah. A Lady of Lavang, Vietnam, which many people don't know about.
All of these, they are all approved apparitions?
Yes. And some of them are approved by the local bishops. Some are approved of by the church in general. For instance, like Lourdes and Fatima and so forth. And this shrine of Our Lady of Hope was provided for by Bob and Dolores Hope in memory of his mother. So yes, I wouldn't lie to you and get caught. Okay. Mother of Africa. And like I say, most of these pictures I took myself. A couple I had to steal from a magazine. Our Lady of Knock, Ireland, 1879. And I really don't care. I mean, it's just a stained glass window. I don't think it's really great, but that's all they have of it. They needed to do something different, but they didn't consult me. Our Lady of Lebanon. And if you, there is a shrine of Our Lady of Lebanon near Youngstown, and I can't remember the name of the place. In fact, I may put that here and find that in a second. But like I say, one of these days I need to get a talk with our organist about putting some music to this. One of the things I want to do is the song "In Christ There Is No East or West." But now I'm going to go back to Google Earth, if I can. Browser. Okay. Okay, there we go. Google Earth.
No, we don't want the app. We want, go up there and just, well, you don't want to download it. Just go up, just give it the word app.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay.
No, you want the search.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
You want the search bar in the
Yeah.
app, not the,
Okay.
there you go. Okay.
Oops. Mahoning County. Yes, it is. North Jackson, Ohio. And this is a Maronite church and shrine. The Maronites are mostly from Lebanon, and they have a replica of the statue of Our Lady of Lebanon. Let's go here. And there's the statue. If you go up those steps, and it's not terribly high. That's one of the places I want to lead a group to. Say it's not terribly far, and it's just really neat place. And like I say, yeah, that's it. And the thing is, the interesting thing about this, when it was built, when the original shrine of Lebanon was built, the statue of Mary faced the country, the inside of the country. And after it was built, the statue turned facing outward to the sea. And they don't know how that happened, except miraculously. It's nice. Yeah. Yeah. And nice outdoor Stations of the Cross. And a nice little gift shop and a restaurant. And that's it. So, I think that's about it. So, thank you. And like I say, I do want to have a group. Like I say, we're going to work on planning a pilgrimage to DC, which of course would include the shrine and the Franciscan monastery, also St. Matthew Cathedral. Some people think that the shrine is the Cathedral of Washington. It isn't. The Cathedral of Washington is St. Matthew, which is where the funeral mass for John Kennedy was held, for one of the reasons because at that time the upper church at the shrine hadn't been finished, and so they had it at the cathedral. And there's a spot in the floor that says this is where the body of John Kennedy laid. And right across the street from that is a neat little sculpture of nuns who worked as nurses during the Civil War. And you can see you can tell the various orders by the habits that they wore. Really neat things, just right across the street from the cathedral, and a lot of neat things there to see in DC. Other than the shrines, of course, there's also the public places, but kind of neat. So, enjoy. Thank you.
Okay, right